Hello everyone and welcome to MagicGatheringStrat. This is Binkabi and this will be top 10 red cards in Modern. So I just want to apologize because it has taken a few more days than I would have liked, but life is life and you have to sometimes even prioritize away magic. I know it's harsh, but that's it. So let's begin, shall we, with top 10 red cards. Number 10, Combust. Now see, I love Combust. I think it's an excellent card. It's cheap, can't be countered, can't be prevented, deals enough damage to count as a clean kill spell, and it's really good against the decks where you need it the most, which is Splinter Twin and Jeskai midrange / control. It kills the Silver Exarch, Pestomite, Celestial Colonnade, Vendilion Click, Restoration Angel, whatever you needed to kill. It's just fantastic. One of the very best sideboard cards you can have, and it's really good with Snapcast Image as well. So that's why it's number 10. Number 9, Searing Blaze. Now I love this card. I think it's really good. The thing is that when it's good against the decks where it's really good, it's just almost unbeatable. It's so unfair to be able to like dome them for 3 and kill their Wild Cattle or whatever if it's like a Zoo Mirror or something. This is just ridiculous. It's very good. Of course it has its downsides. If you don't have landfall, it's not that great, and double red is kinda hard. But I think it's a very underrated card, or underplayed I should say, card at the moment, and I think we might see more of this now. Maybe, we will see. Number 8, Anger of the Gods. Yes, I know Paul has been banned, and that was a deck that didn't like the Anger of the Gods at all. But I suspect that this card will remain a very good option for the red decks. 3 damage is enough to kill all the small creatures, everything from Delver to Curd Ape or whatever, and it also handles Kitchen Finxes and Voice of Resurgence, and even puts a dent into the dredge strategies that we might see soon. So I think it's still a very good card in Modern, so it deserves to be on the list. Number 7, Eidolon of the Great Revel. See, this is another very good card, and the fact that it's so clean in what it does is just fantastic. Let's say they kill this right away with a lightning bolt. Not only did you get to exchange this card for a lava spike, they're also down a card, and probably they lost some tempo as well. And that's the worst case scenario. Best case scenario, they have to go like 0 missions and you're like pumping the fist and you're just crushing them that game. Really good card. I thought this card might see some play in Modern, maybe in the burn sideboard, but no, it's main board, man. It's really good. Number 6, Monastery Swiftspear. Could be higher on the list, could be lower on the list. We don't know. It all depends on the card having a home or not, and Swiftspear had its home in Blue-Red Delver and Burn, and I assume both of those decks will decrease in popularity a fair bit, and therefore Monastery Swiftspear will fall on the list as well. But it has really made an impression on me. I thought it would be like a Goblin Guide, but worse sometimes and better sometimes, and that's decent, but not something to be that excited over. But it's really good. A Gitaxian Probe and keeping a mana open, you can't even bolt it. It's like, it's not possible. Number 5, Pyromancer Ascension. So why is this on the list? Well, Storm is not that played, but it's still a very potent deck. It can win very fast, very frequently on turn 4. Pyromancer Ascension is the heart of the deck. Without it, I don't think Storm would be even close to playable in Modern. So this card is fantastic, very good. Just makes the deck a deck at all. And I think it deserves to be on the list just because it fuels an entire archetype by itself. So that's why I have it on the list at all. And I'd never leave my home for a bigger tournament without considering having something against Storm just because of Pyromancer Ascension. Number 4, Splinter Twin. Similar card to the Ascension, but this deck is obviously much more played than Storm, and I think it will remain probably the best deck in the format. Yes, that it has so many versions, blue-red with black splash, with green splash, white splash. I mean, you can do basically whatever you want with the deck and it's still good. The aura by itself doesn't do that much, but just the fact that it can combo kill them out if they tap down makes it so easy to win without the combo, and it would be foolish to leave it out the list, I think. But it's not that versatile, and I leave it to the top cards to decide that. Number 3, Blood Moon. Yes, it's a bit worse now with more fetches, but still, if you're not playing around this card, you're gonna be destroyed. It's not that many games you win when they resolve a Blood Moon and you have 3 non-basics. That's probably not happening. And just the fact that this card by itself gives you so many free wins makes it a top contender for me, at least. It's pretty cheap, shuts them out completely, doesn't do you any harm at all, and sometimes your opponent will just scoop straight off. They might not even have basics, and that for me is a winner right away. So number 2, Young Pyromancer. Yes, the Delver deck took a hit, but Young Pyromancer is still one of the best reasons to play red. The fact that it leaves behind 1 or 2 tokens even if they kill it is just so good. It just deals so much damage for basically no mana at all. I mean, yes, it was fantastic with Treasure Cruise, but I still think it will remain one of the very, very best card in the format. It's so cheap, hits for 2. The fact that people consider it the red version of the Super Cycle with Tarmogoyf, Snapcaster Mage, Dark Confidant, so forth, Stoneforge Mystic, and this. Just that it's up there with those cards is just incredible. So before we take the number 1, I have just one honorable mention for this list, and that's the Goblin Guide. There is tons of cards I could have put here, various burn spells and other spells and sideboard cards, but they're so redundant that the only one I even considered besides Goblin Guide was Kiki Jiki, but since Pod is banned, it's pretty limited to what it does. It's basically split between 5 and 6 in the decks. But Goblin Guide, every turn someone starts with turn 1 Goblin Guide. You can just look at your hand and determine if you should scoop right away, because there's not many other openings that's so devastating for your spirit that turn 1 Goblin Guide. Yes, it has a drawback. Yes, it competes with Monastery Swift Spear now. But yeah. Alright, time for number 1. Are you ready? I don't think you are. Here it is. Tbolt the Fiend Blooded. Now man, this card is underrated. I mean, look at it. 2 mana, draw card, threatens. Alright, I was kidding. I don't think Tbolt is that great. I just think he's so laughed at that we could very well laugh at him again. He's completely trash. Let's go to the real number 1. Lightning Bolt. Now this is a card. It's even cheaper than Tbolt. I don't think anyone is surprised by Lightning Bolt being number 1. I mean, if my opponent has a red mana symbol amongst his lands, I assume there is 4 Lightning Bolts in the deck. That's the only card I by default is counting on that they have. It's just so cheap, so very effective at what it does, so good with Snapcaster Mage that it's just ridiculous. I mean, you don't get more value for 1 mana. It's Ancestral Recall, that's the next thing and I mean that card is restricted in the oldest format. That's it. So Lightning Bolt is the nuts. If I'm playing red, I'm definitely playing 4 of these. There is not much else. I mean, even in Storm I'm probably playing Lightning Bolts. Maybe not in the main, but in the board at least. It's just a fantastic card to have access to. Killing mana birds, killing small Tarmogoyfs, scavenging ooze, Vendilion clicks. I mean, it kills everything basically that you care about the first few turns. And if they don't have anything, if you compare it to a card like Disfigure that kills almost the same things, this one goes to the dome as well. And 3 damage for 1 mana is a pretty good rate, where cards like Doomblade and stuff does not. They're removal spells and nothing else. So that concludes my top 10 list for the red color. I still have green to do, artifacts and multicolored. Might do something for the lands as well, I'm not sure. But now, when the ban list is updated on Magic Online, I will start my brewing, so stay tuned for those videos. I have a few in store, so promise they will be as delightful as always. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for top 10 green cards.